Conference. A prefrontal lobotomy? Dr. Hill said. You must be joking. The irony of his choice of words was lost in the shocked silence around me. I'd gone directly from my session with the Joker to the psychiatric conference where I'd blurted out my recommendation. The rest of the psychiatric staff, Dr. Hills, Miller, and Bolland were there, and I believe I stunned them all. The solution had occurred to me as I entered the room: a prefrontal lobotomy, surgical invasion of the frontal lobe of the brain. It had been used briefly with great success in the 1930s. Violent, agitated patients had become pussycats, gentle, placid, physically and emotionally in low gear. But the procedure had fallen out of favor because it was deemed too extreme, and because it was irreversible. Yes, I'm aware that it's a radical suggestion, I said, but you've got to admit that this particular case warrants a radical solution, demands it, I should think. Lobotomy is definitive therapy in the case of a patient as violent as the Joker. Dr. Hills came forward. Will come under heavy fire from the patient's rights groups merely for suggesting it. The ACLU, all the... What about the rights of the people he will harm in the future when he gets out again? I replied. And we all know that he will get out again. Let's be honest, gentlemen. Modern psychiatry has failed society in the case of the Joker. I know. I've gone through his past records. The man seems to escape at will. And he goes on a rampage of murder and robbery, is caught, returned to us, only to escape again for another rampage. No matter how we chain him, drug him, psychoanalyze him, he escapes. And he never pays a price for the harm he does. Between rampages, he's given a clean, comfortable cell, 3 meals a day, and free medical care for life. But a lobotomy, Dr. Hill said. We failed to contain him. We failed to change him with therapy or control him with drugs, and the courts won't send him to the chair. As physicians charged with treating the so-called criminally insane, I think we have a duty to consider the definitive therapy for this sort of behavior disorder. There was a long silence. Finally, Dr. Hill said, I'll take it up with the State Board of Medical Examiners. I left the conference room in a state of wild exhilaration. I might have been the new man on the staff, but I was making my presence felt in no uncertain terms. And beyond that, I knew that my recommendation for lobotomy would prove to the Joker once and for all that Harold Lewis, M.D., was not for sale.